Hodesh Tov Rabotai. We're here on this beautiful Tuesday morning, the first day of Rosh Hodesh Adar, which is the 30th day of Shvat. Yehi Ratzon that this month should bring a lot of blessing and bounty upon all Am Yisrael. All our communities should be healthy and happy. Be'ezrat Hashem, Shenichnas Adar, Marbim B'simcha. We increase in our happiness during these days, and that's something that we need to focus on and take into perspective. We are today studying the Netivot Shalom by the Rabbi, and he, in his Sefer, he says that the main job of the month of Adar is for a person to be happy and satisfied with Hashem's hanhaga toward him. Should be happy and satisfied with Hashem's bestowing and what Hashem grants him in life. He has to accept it and he has to be satisfied with it. We know the words of the Hafetz Chaim. He says that a person who gets a choice, he can choose someone else's life with all of their successes and all the fame, glory, and everything else. But with that will come the price of choosing all of their problems, and you won't necessarily have all the good that you have in your life. You'll change lives. Says the Hafetz Chaim, if they gave you a choice to choose your own life or someone else's life, you would most probably or most definitely choose your own life. Why? Because even if we're not as successful as the next person, nonetheless, how much grateful we have to be for our families, for our lives, and a person would only choose his own problems and no one else's problems. And therefore, this is the month of Adar, that a person has to be merutzeh. He has to be satisfied with the hanhaga of Hashem on him. He says, the whole concept of Purim is that Mordechai will not bow. Mordechai lo yichra velo yishtahaveh. Mordechai, it doesn't say he doesn't bow. Mordechai will not bow. He will not be Korea, and he will not be Mishtahaveh. He put himself into danger, and he put all of Klal Yisrael into danger. And this is because he has a clear understanding that it's impossible for Hashem to get rid of our nation, the Jewish people, and therefore Mordechai will not bow under any circumstances to this evil man. His name was Haman. Says the Rabbi, "Bekoach habitachon efshar leshanot ulehamtik et kol hadinim." Sometimes a person is in life, he has judgment on him. He feels something's not going his way. He's not successful in something. I don't know what. He feels the energy of deen. You have to know that with the power of bitachon, the power of trust in Hashem, which is higher than just faith in Hashem. You trust Him that He's going to take care of you. You have the power to surpass and sweeten all of the judgment. He says the root of bitachon and Hashem is found in the 10 Commandments. The first of the 10 Commandments is Anochi Adonai Elohecha Asher Hotzeiticha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Me'beit Avadim. Hashem says He's our God who took us out of Egypt. And that is the source to all bitachon that we are expected to have. Of course, it's very advisable to learn the Shara Bitachon by Rabbi Bachye, the Chovot HaLevavot. He explains over there that 7 criteria that we need in Hashem or in our faith in order to have a complete trust in Hashem. And the first one, of course, he mentions over there is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us. He mentions many others, and it's very kedai to look inside the Shara Bitachon. I know that the Art Scroll just put out a beautiful English copy, and it's very kedai, it's very appropriate, and it's worthwhile for a person to get his hands on a copy and to learn it. The Bat Ayin says that a Jew who doesn't believe that Hashem is with him at all times and in all situations, even in a situation where he's not so much in cleanliness and purity, Hareu, he says he's considered an apostate. Chas v'shalom. Ki Yisrael hem am hanibhar gam kshehem b'matzav hagarua beyoter. We are the chosen nation even when we're on the lowest level. We're still the chosen nation. And the proof is that Hashem took us out of Egypt. Even when we were in the 49th level of impurity, Hashem took us out. And therefore it has to give us so much encouragement that Hashem is with us. He doesn't let us go. He's with us forever. We're in holiness, beautiful. You're not so much in holiness, you're going to get there, but never to despair and never to give up. He says, and that's the power of this holiday of Purim. You have to know that in the Tikkunei Zohar, it says that Yom Kippur is like Purim. And just like when you have a father and son, you compare not the son to the father, rather you compare the son, you don't compare the father to the son, rather you compare the son to the father. The smaller one is Nitle Bagadol. And therefore, so too, if it's called Yom Kippurim, the day Yom Kippur is like Purim, that says the Rabbi that Purim is a greater holiday than Yom Kippur. And therefore, we must utilize this day. It says, the halakha says that at Purim, kol poshet yado Anybody who stretches out his arm, his hand, we stretch out our hand and we feed him, we clothe him, we give to him. We don't ask, where are you from, what are you doing, etc. We just give. So too on Purim, when you ask from HaKadosh Baruch Hu anything you need, a person needs a Yeshua, he wants his kids to get married, he or she wants to get married, they want to have children, they need parnasah, they need shalom. In any area of life, Purim is a very misugal day, a lot of power behind this day. To do what? To be po'el in Shamayim. But more than that, there's a beautiful Mishnah that says the Megillah could be read on the 11th, on the 12th, on the 13th, the 14th, or the 15th. This is for the people who live in the small villages. They didn't have minyanim available, and therefore they would go to the large cities in order to hear the Torah reading, and there were courts set up on Mondays and Thursdays, and therefore they were able to read the Megillah on any Monday or Thursday prior to Purim, on condition that it's one of the days 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15. He says, what's the secret? The secret is just like Yom Kippur. You have 10 days of preparation, Aseret Yemei Teshuvah. So too you have 10 days of preparation before Purim, which is on the 14th, but could be read on the 11th. And therefore, says the Rabbi, Purim is an extension. It's a greater scale than Yom Kippur. And that's why we have 10 days before the 11th in order to prepare ourselves. How do we prepare for Purim? As mentioned before, the main avodah right now is to be merutzeh, to be satisfied with the hanhaga that Hashem has toward a person. No matter what's going on in his life, he's having difficulty with a partner, with his wife, with his, neighbor. To be merutzeh, to be satisfied. To say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I accept everything you do for me, and I know you're with me no matter what, no matter where I am in life, Hashem, you're with me. To strengthen himself in his power of bitachon, to be fearless like Mordechai. Mordechai lo yichra velo yishtachave. He will not bow. Why? He understands for a fact that Hashem is with him, and therefore Hashem brought us this beautiful salvation. Yehi Ratzon, that this holiday of Purim will bring us all much blessing, much success. May we grow in the ways of Hashem, that in these days we accepted the Torah anew, yes, from a perspective of love, and we have to strengthen ourselves in the next month, forever actually, in the essence of learning Torah, to make sure we have time for Torah, to accept it from a state of love. And Hashem should bless us and our families. Hodesh Tov.